If you've been watching the news lately, you've probably heard one of two things. Either the housing market is about to fall off of a cliff, or it's so frozen that nobody is moving. But here in Tucson, the data is telling a completely different story. One that the national headlines are completely missing. I'm Meagan, your AZ homegirl. I spend my days on the ground in Tucson, Vail, the Foothills, and our ranch and acreage communities. Today, I'm taking off the realtor hat for a moment and putting on the analysis hat. We're going to dive deep, and I mean deep, into the 2025 year-end data provided by the MLS of Southern Arizona and the Tucson, Arizona Association of Realtors. If you're planning a move in 2026, or if you've been sitting on a property wondering if you missed your window to sell, this is the only video you need to watch this year. We're going to look at why $6.7 billion moved through our local economy last year, while certain neighborhoods saw a 24% explosion in sales, and why the luxury market is defying every law of gravity right now. Now, I know that you're thinking, Meagan, the rates are high, the world is chaotic, but is it really a good time to buy? By the end of this video, you won't have to guess. You'll have the same data I give my private clients to help them make seven-figure decisions. Before we get into the first chart, I want to offer you a tool. If you want my 2026 Tucson relocation and strategy guide, which includes a breakdown of neighborhoods we're about to discuss, text strategy to 520-980-9880. It's free. It's personalized, and it'll save you dozens of hours of Googling. Now, let's talk about the great recalibration of 2025. Let's start with the big picture. 2025 was the year the Tucson market learned how to be normal again. For years, we were living in a frenzy. Multiple offers, waived inspections, and prices jumping $10,000 every week. That wasn't healthy and it wasn't sustainable. In 2025, we saw a total of 15,653 sales. To give you perspective, that is actually a 0.3% increase over the previous year. Now think about that. Despite higher interest rates and all the talk about the housing freeze, more people bought and sold homes in Tucson in 2025 than in 2024. The total sales volume hit $6.73 billion, which is a 1.4% increase year over year. What does this tell us? It tells us that Tucson is resilient. People aren't just moving here because they want to, they're moving here because they need to. We have the military presence with Davis Monthan, we have the tech growth with Raytheon, and the massive influx of people realizing that compared to California, Washington, or even Phoenix, Tucson is still a bargain. But here's where the AZ homegirl truth comes in. Prices didn't skyrocket, but they didn't crash either. The median sales price for the full year settled at $355,000. That is a modest 1.4 increase. We saw a peak of $365,000 in May and a seasonal low of $343,000 in August. This is what a balanced market looks like. It's not exciting for speculators. It's an incredibly comforting feeling for families. It means you can buy a home today and feel confident that the floor isn't going to drop out from under you tomorrow. This is arguably the most important section of this entire video. If you're a buyer, you want to lean in. If you're a seller, you want to pay close attention. We are talking about months of inventory. So for the last few years, we were stuck at a 1 or 2 month supply. That is a fever dream seller's market. In December 2025, we officially hit 4.7 months of supply. Why does this matter? A balanced market is generally considered to be between 4 and 6 months of supply. We are now squarely in the balanced zone. This is a significant shift, and it means buyers actually have choices. You don't have to settle for the first house you see just because you're afraid that it won't be there when a second one pops up. In 2022, if you didn't like the carpet, Too bad. In 2026, if you don't like the carpet, we're asking the seller for a credit to replace it. Negotiation is a real thing again. The average home in 2025 sold for 98% of the list price. That means buyers are successfully negotiating for repairs, closing credits, and price reductions. Now, days on market are rising. The average home in Tucson took 35 days to sell in 2025, which means it's an 8-day increase from 2024. That's just on average. Some areas are more. Sellers, if your neighbor's house sold in 4 hours back in 2022, forget that. That market is long gone. If you list your home today, you should expect it to take about a month to 2 months, maybe even 3, to find a buyer. And that's okay. That is a healthy, functioning market. It gives everyone time to perform their due diligence. One of the biggest mistakes I see out-of-state relocators making when it comes to Tucson is that we are not a giant city. It is our distance math, and our microeconomies are very different depending on which side of the mountain you're on. So let's break down the 2025 regional performance. The Northwest, Oro Valley, Marana, this remains the volume leader with 144,000 closings in the most recent monthly data. Demand here is high. The median price sits around $444,000. People choose the Northwest for infrastructure, the views of Push Ridge, and the newer master plan communities like Dove Mountain. It's the easy button for relocation, but you do pay a premium for the convenience. The upper southeast side, or the Vail side, this is the breakout star of 2025. Sales volume here jumped 24% year over year. The median price is $345,000. Why? It's because of the schools. Vail School District is consistently top tier, and the fact that you can get a lot more house and a lot more land for your dollar than you can in the Northwest is why it's so popular. If you're a young family, this is likely where you're going to start your search. Now we have the north side, which is the Catalina Foothills. This is where our luxury market lives. The median price here is $650,000, while the rest of the city saw a slight slowing. The north stayed incredibly active because of the architectural distinction and the saguaro studded views. If you want privacy, no streetlights so you can see the stars, and a javelina in your front yard, this is the spot for you. Now, Central Tucson is fascinating. The median price here is $327,000. We saw a slight dip in prices recently, but demand stayed steady because of the U of A and the historic neighborhoods like Sam Hughes. It's the heart of the city, and for many, the slower pace of the outskirts doesn't appeal as much as being 5 minutes from 4th Avenue. Now, let's talk about the wealth shift happening in Southern Arizona. If you think high rates stop the luxury buyers, think again. The segment of homes priced at $1.2 million and above saw a staggering 57.4% increase in sales activity in 2025. Think about that. While the affordable market was struggling with inventory and rate sensitivity, the high end was on fire. Why? Affluent migration. People are leaving California and Washington and realize $1.5 million in Tucson gets you literally estates, where in Seattle, it gets you a 3-bedroom ranch with a view of neighbors' fences. Number 2 is that cash is king. Many of these buyers aren't as sensitive to mortgage rates. They are liquidating assets in other states and moving their wealth into Arizona land. Interestingly, these luxury homes are selling faster than the average home. The 1.2 million plus segment had a median days on market of just 24 days. But, and this is a big but, sellers are being realistic. Approximately 44% of luxury listings had to take at least one price reduction to get the deal done. Even at high end, buyers aren't overpaying just for the sake of it. Now, we do have to talk about my favorite segment, ranch and horse properties. This is where I spend a lot of my time, and it's one of the most misunderstood markets here in Tucson. Tucson has a vibrant and diverse equestrian community. Whether you're looking at Coyote Creek in Vail, which has state-of-the-art facilities, or northeast side of Tucson near Tanque Verde, the demand for land is at an all-time high. In 2025, we saw that acreage is the new luxury. Buyers are looking for 1 to 10 acre parcels. They want existing infrastructures like barns, arenas, and most importantly, water access. In the desert, a well-maintained well or shared well agreement is more valuable than a remodeled kitchen sometimes. Now, advice for you ranch buyers. You have to move fast. This is one of those segments where supply is still extremely limited. And my advice for ranch sellers, highlight your trail access. If your property is near Saguaro National Park or the Arizona Trail, that is a massive selling point that adds 5 figures to your value. We also need to talk about your fencing and your arena footing. Details matter in this space. So let's get real for a minute. When people move to Tucson, they expect sunshine and low taxes. But what they don't realize until they unpack their moving boxes is that Tucson comes with hidden costs: environmental, financial, and lifestyle. That's something that no one warns you about. So, hidden costs. Number 1, Tucson distance math. Tucson is spread out. If you live in Vail but work in the Northwest, you're looking at a 45-minute commute each way. Grocery stores, schools, and even the nearest Starbucks can sometimes be 20 minutes away, depending on your neighborhood. This influences your gas, your budget, your car maintenance, and your overall rhythm. Hidden cost number 2, sun exposure and home maintenance. The sun here is a different beast. UV exposure eats through paint, stucco, and roofs. You'll need more frequent HVAC checkups, and your landscaping will require consistent care during the summer months. Hidden cost number 3 is the utility shifts. Water can be more expensive than you're used to, and your electric bill in July will make your eyes water. But conversely, your heating bill in January might be like $40. It's a trade-off, but you need to know the budget for the peaks. Hidden cost number 4 is the desert tax on your car. The heat kills batteries at about 2 years. The loose gravel on our roads means windshields crack, and that is a rite of passage here. If you're moving to a ranch area, the dust and driveway maintenance add another layer of expense. So let's talk about what you're buying. Single family homes still dominate with a median price of $380,000. This is a standard Tucson dream. But if you're looking for a better entry point, look at townhomes and condos. At median prices of $280,000, these became the MVP of 2025 for the first-time buyers and retirees who didn't want the desert maintenance that I mentioned earlier. And don't sleep on manufactured homes. In our rural areas, a modern manufactured home on a permanent foundation is a very smart strategic move. At a median price point of about $232,000, it's often the only way to get 5 acres without the $700,000 price point. Okay, so the financial strategy for 2026. I want to address the rate elephant in the room. Rates fluctuated a lot in 2025, but they didn't tank. The mistake people are making these days is waiting for 3%. Guys, those rates were an anomaly. We are likely staying at the 6% range for the most foreseeable future. In 2025, the smart buyers realized that price matters more than rate. Why? Because you can always refinance your rate later, but you can never refinance your purchase price. Buying now while inventory is at a 4.7 month inventory and you have negotiation power is better financially than waiting for rates to drop and having 50 other buyers outbid you by $50,000. As we head into 2026, I want to be very honest with you about who this market is for. Tucson is not a mini Phoenix. It is a lifestyle shift. So Tucson is perfect for you if you want space, sunsets, and wildlife. You want a slower pace of life where mountains are your playground. You value more local culture like mom and pop restaurants and the community-driven lifestyle. Tucson might not be a fit for you if you need fast-paced urban jungle, you are overwhelmed by the idea of desert maintenance, you need everything to be cookie cutter and brand new. That's not here. Our market has character, and sometimes that character comes with a little bit of dust on it. So here's your marching order for the new year. For buyers, be patient. You have 4.7 months of supply. Use this time to find a home that actually fits your 10-year plan. Get pre-approved early. This is still a competition, and your pre-approval letter is your entry ticket to the negotiation table. Work with a specialist if you're buying a ranch. Don't use suburban condo agents. The dirt matters more than the house sometimes. For sellers, price right from day one. In a balanced market, the first 14 days are your golden window. If you overprice, you'll likely end up selling for less than you would have anyway. Staging is a non-negotiable. With more inventory, your home needs to stand out. And professional photography and a clean desert modern stage will get you that 98% list to sale ratio. Also, be prepared to negotiate. Whether it's a repair credit or a closing cost contribution, please be flexible. 2025 didn't break the Tucson market, it reset it. It gave us a breath back. We are walking into 2026 with a market that is balanced, stable, and now predictable. And in the world of real estate, predictable is such a beautiful word. So whether you're looking for a luxury estate in the foothills, a family home in Vail, or a ranch with room for your horses to roam, Southern Arizona is still the best kept secret in the West. And if you want help building your specific 2026 plan, text me at 520-980-9880. Tell me your goals, and I will send you data you need to make them a reality. Please don't forget to like this video. It does really help the channel, and subscribe for my monthly market updates and comment below. What is the one thing about 2025 data that most surprised you? I'm Meg Estes, your AZ homegirl. I can't wait to help you find your next home in Tucson, and I will see you in the next one.